All right. You have 5 minutes to get their attention, to get them hooked, or you lost them for the whole workout, okay? You have 5 minutes, whether you're a trainer, coach, whatever, okay? So you need to get their attention. If they have a bad day, it's your fault, okay? So there's no, oh, I didn't sleep well last night, my girlfriend, that's out, okay? It's on you, okay? So you have 5 minutes to get their attention, whether it be yelling, screaming, swearing, freaking taking a chair and smashing yourself in the forehead, eating a light bulb, whatever you got to do. You don't have to do it all the time, but you got to have a couple tricks to get their attention. All right, you set the tone. It's up to you. Cool? All right, I'm going to ramble on today about training, in particular college athletes, but I think this goes for personal training. It goes for, you know, any kind of coaching, teaching. Anytime you're in front of a group of people and you're in charge, you got to make sure, I have to make sure you guys are with me. All right, so however I got to do that, you got to figure it out. All right, make sense? Damn right it does. All right, a couple of the things that I try to do. These are little points that I try to like go through in my head every day to make sure that I am going to have the most effective shot at getting these people to pay attention to me. All right, one of them is appearance. I'm stuck with this, right? But every day I tuck my shirt in. We wear purple and gold. Those are our primary colors at the University of Albany, right? So if it's one of those days for me, I might wear all yellow. Yellow hat, yellow shirt, yellow shorts. If I had yellow shoes, I'd wear them, right? I walk into a weight room wearing all yellow, you're going to pay attention to me. If I yell at you, you're going to hear me, right? So appearance, I always try to tuck my shirt in. I want to look different than they do. I want to set myself apart from who I'm working with, all right? With football, all our guys wear gray shirts, so I never wear gray with them. I want to stand out. I look like a football player. I act like a football player. I was a football player. I need to be different. And it's a really subtle thing. The kids may not notice it, but when they look around the room and there's 80 guys in the room, I'm wearing purple or yellow or black or white, I stand out, all right? It's just a little thing. Now, if you're going to, like, let's say personal training, tuck your shirt in. It's something I never did because I thought I was too cool for it. How much of a difference does it make? I don't know. But it makes me different than who I'm working with, and I think that's important. That make sense? All right. Now, what is tolerated is encouraged. So, if you let kids leave the weight room without picking up, you're encouraging them to do that, right? If you let clients come in and, oh, I feel terrible, I don't feel like being here. If you let them bitch about that, you're encouraging them to do that, all right? So you have to set the tone. You have to let them know who's in charge. You can do it with a smile. You can do it however you want to do it, but set the tone immediately, all right? This also goes back to the you have 5 minutes to get them. Set the tone of how you expect the training session, whether it be personal training or the session, you know, working with 60 or 80 football guys or 15 volleyball girls or you know, 12 basketball guys. You have to set the tone right off the bat, okay? Make sense? Good. It's my belief that, like, lifting weights, getting in shape, there's a lot of science involved, and we can read all these books and studies and all that. Reality is 20% of what I do is about sets and reps. 80% is getting you to drink the Kool-Aid. 80% of what I do is getting you to believe in, why do we hang clean? Why do we squat? You know, why do we do these certain things? I have to convince you. Not only do I have to convince you, I have to convince the head coach of whatever team I'm working with. Now, football, easy. Weightlifting is part of the culture. Track and field, believe it or not, easy. Weightlifting is part of the culture. Volleyball, it's starting to become part of the culture. Basketball, it's part of the culture. Women's soccer, but they're awesome to work with. right? But I have to convince the head coach. The women's soccer trains with me 8 weeks a year. I have to try to convince her that they need to do more. Are they gonna? No. But that's part of my job, is getting everybody to buy in to what we're doing to help them perform better. Does that make sense? All right, good. A couple other things too, and this kind of goes with rapport and clients, athletes, whatever. When I used to personal train, I was pretty good at it. Now I'm much better at it. I always ask, hey, how you doing? How's school going? You know, how's your boyfriend doing? How's this going? How's that? Let them know you care. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out conversation, but let them know you care. You're going to work harder for someone who cares about you, right? You know, again, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out, conversation about, hey, how's everything going? Do you have a test? Everything good? Whatever. Let them know you care. And I think that makes a huge, huge, huge difference in what, especially a kid, an athlete, will do for you. But I also think it's, with personal training too. It makes a difference. Know who you're talking to. I deal with a football team very, very differently than I deal with women's soccer, than I deal with women's basketball versus men's basketball. Know who you're speaking to, okay? I think you coach men and you teach women. And I'm not trying to be sexist at all, but I think my goal is to get you to do what I want you to do. I don't particularly care how I have to do that. I just want you to do it. All right? So you can curse a little bit at the guys. You can get on them. You can call them out. You can use your expletives if you so choose. If you don't swear, that's fine. You don't have to swear. But the best part of my job is I get to yell and scream at college kids all day, and they can't do anything about it. But now if I come into a women's soccer or volleyball or something like that, I can't be dropping F-bombs and stuff like here and there, yeah, but like know who you're talking to so that you can get the most out of that group, right? With men, you can call them out and they'll motherfuck you behind your back and all, but men have egos. That's where we run into trouble. But call them out, they'll work their butts off, right? Women, if I go in and call someone out, call her a wussy for not putting more weight on the bar to squat, she's gonna shut down. What am I accomplishing? So, a lot of hugs, a lot of fantastics, and I say it and I feel like a jerk saying it, but it's true. Hey, that was a great job. Might have been the worst freaking squat I've ever seen in my life. That was a great job. All I need you to do is go a little bit lower, all right? You're doing great, keep it up. And it over time, that just builds and builds and builds. And what do you want to do when you hear compliments? You want more compliments. It's basic psychology. So you're going to work harder. You want to please, you want to please who you're working for. So approach and knowing your audience, I think, is one thing that has helped me become a much better coach. And I wish I was better when I personal trained. I personal trained for like 8 years before I got into strength and conditioning. I wish I had known more about that. Understanding who I was talking to and the message. Ultimately, I want you to do what I want you to do. So if I have to yell at you or I have to kind of massage it out of you, whatever. The end result is what I care about. So I have to figure out how to put this foot in your ass enough to get you where I want you to go. Make sense? All right. So how many coaches out here, how many people work with athletes? Anyone? No one? 2, 3, 4. Awesome. What I have to say is pretty important, though, I'll be honest with you. All right, so I'm going to use the example of football, but if anybody has any specific questions about any other sports, please let me know right now. To me, there's 4 different areas of football strength and conditioning. You've got your summer session, you've got in-season, you've got your winter session, which for us is ending up next week, and then you've got spring ball. And they're all attacked a little bit differently, but there's certain rules that we follow regardless of the training period, okay? In season, I'm sorry, summer. Because of the NCAA and their infinite wisdom, tongue in cheek, we have 8 weeks in the summer where we can work with the football team. And there has to be a break in those 8 weeks, okay? So the way we set it up is we have our first 4-week block, we give them 4th of July week off, and then we have our second 4-week block going into the season, okay? So, we train 4 days a week. We do the most important training that we get done is done on Monday and Tuesday, okay? Thursday and Friday are very important, but it's the end of the week, the weekend's coming, they're a little tired, you know, you get the bulk of your work done early in the week. So we squat heavy on Monday and we bench heavy on Tuesday. We do like a speed squat on Thursday and a speed bench on Friday, right? Sounds like West Side, right? It's basic template that we follow. All right? Does that make sense? All right. So we train 4 days a week. The most important stuff is done early in the week, okay? Now, the way we set it up in the summertime. Your first movement of the day is going to be explosive and fast. So, Olympic lifts, sprinting, jumping, okay? The first movement of the day. So, second movement is your strength stuff, your squats, your benches, and then the third movements are your fillers, your fill in the blanks, your make sure you kind of touch all bases, all right? And I'll explain that in a second. All right, so for instance, all right, first of all, does that make sense? We good? All right, so when we come in on Monday in the summertime, we have a hill that's, I don't know, maybe as high as the ceiling, and it's like 20 yards long. So we line them up, we sprint up the hill. We do that 15 to 30 times, depending on where we are in the, the course of the training session, right? So we're fast and explosive. Then we come in the weight room and we squat. And we squat heavy. We do basically 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s. And then it's kind of like block periodization, if you will. We just, it's not rocket math, right? We train them heavy on Monday. After that, so squat is a lower body push. We follow that with a lower body pull. Some kind of deadlift, RDLs, we do what we call double over deadlifts, and double over deadlift is basically an RDL. I'm kind of getting off topic here, but double over deadlift is an RDL without the eccentric, without the down phase. Men can put so much force into the ground when they run. They pull a lot of hamstrings. The eccentric phase of a lift is the most taxing. So when we're going to try to put some weight on the bar doing double over deadlifts, and double over means you just hold the bar double overhand. It limits how much they can hold on to. And so basically what they do is they get in RDL position, they pick it up, and they drop it. Pick it up and drop it. We take out the eccentric portion. We get enough hamstring pounding from sprinting and all that stuff, so it's a little way to minimize some wear and tear on the hamstrings. With women, it's not such a big deal because, quite honestly, women just don't put as much force into the ground. So that's like a football thing that football and men's basketball we do a little bit with. But anyways, so we've got our heavy squat followed by our heavy lower body pull, anywhere in the 5 to 8 rep range, whatever, okay? Then we follow that up with a lower body push and a lower body pull, all right? Step ups, like lateral lunges, single leg stuff. A lot of single leg, lower body pushing, all right? Doesn't really matter what it is. You're just getting some work in and you're getting some reps done, all right? Usually we'll pair that with a lower body pull. Valve slide leg curls, glute ham raises, partner glute hams, partner hamstring curls, where kid will lay on the ground and you just have the other kid hold his leg and he resists against, something like that. It's just little work. You're just trying to get done, just trying to kind of fatigue all the other muscles. Does that make sense? All right. And then we'll throw in some abs and call it a day. All right. Our speed day is basically exactly the same, except we do speed work instead of heavy squatting. But pretty much the template stays the same, right? If you want to get a lot of work in, after you do your main lift, and then like your first, so for on squat day, you squat heavy, and then you do your heavy lower body pull. If you want to pair everything up after that, or like set up supersets after that, it's a great way to get extra work in. It's a great way to build up their work capacity. It's a great way to get a lot of work done in a small period of time. All right, and then we always finish up with abs, whatever, crunches, sit-ups. It's just ab work. It doesn't really matter. Make sense? All right, bench day, same thing. The difference, it's the same basic setup. The difference is we bench first, we lift first on our bench days. All right, so we'll come in, we'll warm up, we'll hit our heavy benches. We'll follow that usually with an upper body push, incline bench, dumbbells, overhead presses, whatever. An upper body push for some volume, and then we do 2 upper body pulls. We do a buttload of dumbbell rows because we don't have a seated row machine. We do a buttload of dumbbell rows. We do a buttload of pull-ups. We do lat pull-downs. We do more dumbbell rows. We do them with straps. We do them without straps. We do a lot of dumbbell rows. All right, I can't stress that enough. But it's a great exercise. You can get a lot done just doing that stuff. So after that, same idea as squat day. Heavy bench, upper body push, 2 upper body pulls. You can pair a lot of that stuff up, and then we throw in guns. Let the guys do buys and tries, all right? Usually we'll set up something fun with them. Like our big kick now is we just put chains on the bars and have them do chain curls. And guys pull their sleeves up. It's like freaking prison, and they love it. But you're just getting some work done, and you get the main work done early, and at the end, let them look good in their uniforms with those tight sleeves all jacked up. You know what I mean? They want to do that, they're going to work at it, right? Speed bench day, same basic idea, all right? We do all our benching first, and then we condition afterwards, okay? Squat days, we sprint first, because there's no way you're going to sprint after you squat. You're not going to be any good at it. Upper body days, we do our conditioning. 120-yard shuttles, 60-yard shuttles, 5-10-5s, whatever. It's conditioning. We're trying to make them breathe heavy. We're trying to build up their overall anaerobic endurance. Wow, there's a science word for you. All right. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what we're coming at with that? All right. Squat days are all about speed. We run fast and then lift heavy. Upper body days. We lift heavy, we body build basically, and then we condition. Make sense? Remember I told you there's two sort of phases of our summer program. You get your first 4 weeks and your second 4 weeks. The first 4 weeks, the way I would, if you're going to look at importance, it's strength and then conditioning. It's only 4 weeks. We're not going to get them super strong, but the focus is strength because we have some time. They get their week off, and the kids come in and lift anyways, right? But they get their week off for the most part. And then the second 4-week phase goes right into summer camp. So what's more important going into football season, any season? Being super, super strong or being conditioned to play your sport? We all know the answer, right? So our focus changes a little bit. We still squat the hell out of them. We're always waving up towards the test. So the weightlifting is getting heavy, 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 even though we're getting closer to the season. But there's more of an emphasis on the conditioning aspect because the kids got to run, they got to sprint, they got to cut. So I would say that, if you're going to set it up like the first 4 weeks is strength, then conditioning. The second 4 weeks is strength, conditioning. Still have a chance to make them stronger, but you have to make sure that they can go through the rigors of preseason camp. Make sense? Plus, you're also getting them ready for their tests, their conditioning tests. Everyone's got different tests, but you're basically getting ready to pass those tests. Make sense? Any questions? An in-season training, summer training. We good? All right, in-season training. 2 days a week or 3 days a week? We do 3 days a week, okay? Now, as I said to begin, our first 2 days of work are the most important days, okay? So as we go in season while they're playing football, the first 2 days, what we do on those days are the most important, okay? So the way we do it is we play on Saturday, we lift on Sunday. All right? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, right? Sunday, Tuesday, yeah, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday is when we lift. So, part of our general training philosophy is be fast and explosive and then get strong, right? Then fill in the blanks with the fluff. So, Sunday, after the game, we're banged up, we're beat up, we're sore, we're feeling sorry for ourselves, we're hungover, we clean, hang cleans. All right? The load isn't going to be huge. So from a weight standpoint, they're not handling a ton of weight, but they can be fast, they can be explosive, they can work that skill. So we'll hang clean. And we do, during the season, we do 3s and 2s. But the percentages we use are more like what you would use for 5s and 6s. So we might be in like that 70 to 80% range, just doing triples and doubles. We want them to be fast. We want them to be explosive. We don't want them to fail, so we're setting them up to succeed. You're not going to make anybody stronger during the season. It's crazy. I can't remember. We looked at some numbers, and like the drop off of guys that play significant time. I think we set it at like 25 plays or more a game. The drop-off in strength at the end of the season is crazy. I wish I had the numbers. I didn't write them down, but it's crazy. You know who makes all the progress? The freshmen. Because they don't practice on Friday. They don't do anything on Saturday. They don't do anything. They come in and lift on Sunday, but basically they're just practicing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're lifting 4 days a week. They make crazy progress. But guys that play, you're not going to get them stronger. It just ain't going to happen. All right? So, we got Sunday's workout, cleans, right? We're fast and explosive. Then they come in on Tuesday. Check that. Let me take a step back. Cleans. Then we'll do like rear lunges with the barbell, maybe 3 sets of 3, something like that, nothing crazy. We'll do valve slide leg curls, like a body weight leg curl type thing, and some abs. And they're gone. Simple. Get in, get out, get it done. Might even throw in some back, some dumbbell rows, right? So Tuesday we come in and we squat. Same idea with the sets and reps, same idea with the percentages. They're doing 3s and 2s with weights that they should do 5s and 6s with. We want them to feel good, we want them to be strong, we want them to drop down and sit deep in the hole and all that stuff, but we're not trying to kill them. So we squat, we follow that up with a lower body pull, something that's easy on the hamstrings, double over deadlifts, valve slide leg curls, hip bridges, really simple stuff. Pull-ups, abs, stretch, gone. Simple, right? We're just hitting the main stuff. If they just came in and cleaned on Sunday and did abs, if they came in and squatted on Tuesday and did abs, on Thursday we bench. Guess what? It's similar. We come in, we bench, some kind of back work, some kind of very light lower body, like body weight, hamstring type stuff, or like reverse lunges, just body weight reverse lunges, or like around the clock lunges where you kind of here and you kind of hit all the numbers on the clock type thing, whatever. Abs, gone, right? We're just trying to maintain the things that are important, cleans. And when I say cleans, I mean hang cleans. Cleans, squats, benches. Everything else, just kind of Just making them sweat a little bit. Make sense? Obviously, football practice is the focus. That's what matters. Questions, comments, concerns? Yes, sir.
When you're coming from a football perspective, you're playing once a week. But when you're dealing with soccer, basketball, baseball, any other sport where they have multiple games a week,
how do you make it work?
Suggest training 2 times a week, or is it still?
The question was for the camera. How do you deal with teams that play maybe multiple times per week, maybe on like a Wednesday, Saturday schedule or something like that? You are very flexible. You are straight Gumby. All right, you got to make it work. So let's say a team plays, and it never works out this way. Let's say a team plays Wednesdays and Saturdays. Typically they'll get Sunday off, right? So Monday they're playing Wednesday, so you can squat them heavy, you know. You can get after a little bit. So the way I like to do it is, again, you're going to get the most of your work done early in the week. So Monday, we're going to try to get some work done. It's not going to be crazy. I may have like a women's soccer team squat on Monday, RDLs, but instead of doing sets of 10, we'll do like sets of 5. We'll do the work, we'll use the weight, but we'll just eliminate the volume to get rid of some of the soreness, right? And then maybe we'll do like push-ups, pull-ups, abs, done, right? They play on Wednesday, they'll come in, maybe we'll goblet squat, or we'll rear lunge, or some kind of squat motion where we bend the knee and the hip, but we just want to, they just played, so we can't kill them, and they're going to play in another day or two. So you can still get some work in, but it's the same idea. You know, lower push, lower pull, upper push, upper pull, abs, gone. Does that make sense? Now it's really weird when you have some teams like men's basketball, women's basketball, they won't show up for like 12 days and then they'll want to come in 3 days in a row. You just have to, you got to make it work. You got to figure it out. You know, we don't have control over that. So you just have to make it work. And that's where, you know, you can make shit up sometimes. Does that answer your question? So the next part is the winter session, like what we're just finishing up with. Now, this is very similar to the summer session. So the workouts are basically the same as the summer. So you don't there's nothing crazy. There's a little more we add to it because we as strength coaches don't care how conditioned they are. They don't play until September. It's freaking January, February, it's March. It doesn't matter. Football coaches they're a little dumb. They want to make everybody puke, but whatever. So this session is actually our best session to make these kids strong. Basic workout template is the same, okay? What we'll do a little bit differently is we'll practice a little more mobility work before we get into the lifting. So we may break up groups and go, we break up skill and big skill and then line. Skill and big skill is like wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, kickers, tight ends, and linebackers. And then big line is linemen. So we'll split the groups up, and like what we're doing now on squat day on Monday, skill, we have them go through like some bounding and jumping and stuff. We'll have them jump over hurdles. We'll have them go under hurdles, sideways. We'll have them step over hurdles, hip mobility, stuff like that, and then we'll have them jump. They'll jump over the hurdles, stick the landing, jump over the hurdles, stick the landing. Then they'll hop over the hurdles, jumping. We're exciting the central nervous system, and then we'll come in and squat. The linemen will do the Vertimax, the vertical jump. We just set those up and jump. And they do like 5 jumps usually. And then the whole group comes together and we squat and go from there. But that's really the only major difference. Was I clear on that? All right, so bench day is very similar. We'll split up skill, big skill and then line, and the skill guys might do like plyometric push-ups to get themselves fired up. And then the linemen will usually do like med ball tosses. Nothing crazy, just getting the central nervous system excited. We all come together, we bench and go through. Like I said, the workouts are basically identical to, basically identical to what we do in the summertime, all right? Wednesday mornings, we do our AM conditioning. And with us, it's all competition. The coaches want competition, so they're graded, they win stuff, they got all kinds of, incentives for it. And the guys talk so much shit, it's great. They get mad at us when we make wrong calls, it's great. But they compete, and that's what sports is all about. So then Thursday, which is our speed squat day, again, we do mobility. We start off with mobility, but we do a little bit more with the Olympic lifting at this time of year. So what we'll do, we do squat cleans, and I'll demonstrate those on tomorrow. We'll do squat cleans, hang cleans, dynamic effort squat, all right? And a squat clean is just, you catch it in the bottom position and stand up. We do like 2 or 3 sets. The only reason we do that is so when we get weight on the bar to hang clean, they're comfortable getting down. Because what you see a lot of college kids do is they'll do this instead of this, all right? So we're trying to get them comfortable dropping under it so when the weight gets heavy, they don't freaking spread their feet out, but they still do it. All right? But it just teaches them to be super, super explosive with the bar, all right? And then we do squat cleans, hang cleans, dynamic squats. We don't use a box, and then the workout's the same, all right? Friday, we've been doing whip snatches. These are freaking awesome. We do whip snatches, snatches, and then speed bench. A whip snatch, do we have a broom? Doesn't matter. All right, so a hang snatch, you're here, you drop, you snatch, right? A whip snatch is you put the weight on your hip, like so. You lean forward, and you just, boom, pop the bar. It looks awful. I mean, the form is just terrible. But what you get out of them is when you take the whole drop, you take sort of the stretch reflex out of the snatch, you have to use your hips so much that when we do 2 or 3 sets of that, then we go into the hang snatch, their hang snatches look fantastic. They're violent and explosive. So it's sort of a tool to get them. You don't have to do stuff like that, but we've noticed a great improvement in our Olympic lifting, throwing in squat cleans, before hang cleans, and then whip snatches. And I'll demonstrate that tomorrow too, why not? And then dynamic bench, right? What's Friday? It's the last day of the week, right? Friday is GBF, Get Big Fridays, all right? So once we're done with dynamic bench, the freaking rap goes off, and the heavy metal goes off, and Kesha radio comes on. And those kids bodybuild for the rest of the workout, and they dance, and they have a great time, and as the weather starts getting nicer, it's all they're thinking about is going out, quite honestly, and getting some tail. So the workout, it's Friday. They've done all the work. Let's let them have some fun. And that's sort of how we handle that. Come Monday, we're back on track, but we get our main work done, and then all the dumbbell rows and the lat pull downs, all the fluff, we just let them have fun with it. All right? Make sense? All right. Now we're going into spring ball. They play 4 days a week. They go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And unless you're like Alabama or LSU or someone like that, spring ball is about destroying these guys because they have all summer to heal. So spring ball is brutal. If you get hurt, you've got all summer to heal, and that is the mentality. Unless you're like at Alabama and you're a first or second teamer. But that's how it's done. So we lift twice a week during spring ball because I don't know that it's more taxing on their system than a season is, but part of the lifting, 3-day lifting, and bringing them in on Sunday is making sure that they're not complete, total, degenerate retards on Saturday night. After they win or lose, they got to show up at noon, and let me tell you, That weight room smells like a brewery. But it actually does dissuade them a little bit from being too stupid. Plus, in upstate, in New York, bars are open until 4 in the morning. So these idiots are out till 5 or 6 in the morning, and then they got to show up at noon to lift. So, yeah, we go 9-2 and win the conference again. So whatever, it seems to work for them. Anyways, off on a tangent. Spring ball. 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So they're going to come in on Tuesday. They're going to hang clean. They're going to squat. And we'll probably throw in like a little circuit like valve slide leg curls, hip extensions, and abs. And that's it. Between warm up and the workout, it's probably 35, 40 minutes. Get them in, get them out. Thursday, we're going to snatch. We're going to bench. Guess what we do for our back?
Dumbbell row.
Ah, you guys are fucking good, man. I love it. We're going to dumbbell row or pull-ups. But we do a lot of dumbbell rowing. And then we'll let them do arms because they're vain. And then we get them out. Simple. We're just kind of maintaining it. So that's sort of a year of football training. All right, any questions? Any questions? Did I cover everything? Oh, I'm freaking good.
Want me to read that to you?
Yeah, right? Top to bottom, left to right, group words together, form sentences. All right. With other sports, I'm going to try to make this real quick. Other sports are very different than football because lifting is such part of the culture. But like baseball, I train baseball. What do you do in baseball? Let me describe a baseball game to you. And then like 4 or 5 times a game they run for a ball. I'm not making fun. Well, I am. But my point is, you can train a baseball team during baseball season. Oh no, they're a little sore from squatting. Well, you freaking don't do much, you know? So the only thing I may do is like, I'm pretty lenient on the pitchers because let me tell you, they are a high maintenance group of people. Holy cow. But whatever, I'm not gonna mess with their season. They bench in the off season, they incline press, they overhead press. But during the season, I let them get away with murder when it comes to pressing. They do a ton of back work, a lot of shoulder work, a lot of band pull aparts, a lot of like dumbbell stuff. But other than that, you can train the hell out of a baseball player during the season because they don't do much, right? Same thing with softball. You can train the hell out of them because their sport doesn't require a lot. Their off season's a heck of a lot harder than their in season is. Anybody have any other questions about how you deal with athletes, how you talk to them, anything? Bueller? No? All right. If anything pops up, please feel free to ask me the rest of the day or tomorrow. And I want to thank Murph for letting me speak here. I appreciate it, man. Hope I did something for you guys. Thank you.